Ridge Nation, welcome back to Ridge TV. I'm Nathaniel East.
And I'm Christopher Johnson.
And Chris, let's just talk about this crazy game that went on against Wagner this past week. I mean, we ended up losing that game 22-20. We did come back in the second half. We did not let Wagner score until the very end when we decided to take a safety. Chris, I mean, you were with the Nest. I mean, can you explain and just tell like how everyone was reacting to that game?
I mean, it was crazy. You know, Hagan scored that touchdown at the end of the game to tie it up, and, you know, we were all freaking out in the Nest. And then Nick Alsop went to go take that extra point, and we all thought that he made it, so we were all cheering and stuff. And the announcers came over the speakers and told us that he missed it, and it just got silent in the crowd. And then, you know, Carson went back and took that safety, and we were all just really confused on what happened, and nobody knew what was going on. The players were celebrating and stuff, and we had no clue what was happening, so it was a lot of confusion in that game.
And like, how was like everybody else like reacting? Like, not even like after the game, but like, did they just like go and leave, or did they go with the players, or like?
I mean, for the most part, we all just kind of stood in the stands because we didn't really know what was happening, and then a few people went down with the players to celebrate. But somebody came and explained it to all of us, and so we thought we had won districts like the players did, and so we started celebrating as well.
Well, we officially have not won districts just yet. We still have to beat Miami by 15 points on Friday. And this is our last regular season home game. Not only do we have to beat Miami, Bristol will have to win their game against Oologah. So a lot of things are on the line here this Friday night. And so, Chris, let's just go through the stats.
Grove has still been playing phenomenally in the third quarter, scoring 114 total points and only giving up 35 points. Emmanuel Crawford has rushed for 1,723 yards and 29 touchdowns this year. Carson Trimble has thrown for 1,523 yards and 17 touchdowns and just 4 interceptions. Hagan Hacker has received for 640 yards and 9 touchdowns this year, so they've been a pretty dynamic trio.
Yeah, and back to that Wagner game, I was just shocked. I mean, just being a broadcaster, seeing something like that happen, I was fully expecting to go into overtime. And then at the final 4 seconds, Carson just went to the other end zone and took a safety. We ended up losing that game. We still haven't beat Wagner in 14 years, it will now be, and we will not be able to see if we don't play them in playoffs. We will be moving up to 5A next year, so we won't see if we actually will be able to beat Wagner. But overall, we thought that Wagner was going to win if they would have beaten us in overtime. Turns out that we would have only lost 1 point instead of 2 if we did go into overtime. So overall, we lost 2 points because we lost in just regular time, 22-20. And it's going to be very, very, very exciting to see this Friday, our last regular season game, and then see how all the players will react and just everything. It's going to be emotional, and we're just all ready for playoffs. And that's all I have for today. I'm Nathaniel East.
And I'm Christopher Johnson.
We will see y'all next time. Welcome back, Return TV. This week I'll be interviewing Coach Caldwell. Coach, how are you doing?
Good, good.
And let's get right to it. Coach, you've had an amazing season. And this past game presented a lot of difficulty after coming back in the second half to tie it with Wagner. Then your team decided to take a safety and give up the undefeated season hopes of becoming district champs and not losing home field advantage. Can you give us insight on what all you guys were thinking as far as the rules that night?
Well, and basically we didn't know the rule. The rule changed about 3 years ago, and we didn't know the overtime rule that you could only lose 1 point. And we should have played regardless. It was a bad decision on my part, and it was the coach's decision. I mean, we all, thought it was the best thing for us to do. It was a wrong thing to do, and I'll say that now to you. I mean, it just it wasn't a good thing to do. We should have decided it on the field, and but what that does do is that sets up a game that we can win the district title still. All of our goals are still in front of us. And my thought was that all the points counted, and if something I wasn't afraid of playing Wagner in the overtime, and but the thought of this team that worked so hard and tried so hard to do everything the way it's supposed to be done, and if something would have happened, say we get a penalty or something where and Wagner scores a touchdown, and my thought was, they win the district championship, and I didn't want to give that up for our team, and so we decided, to do that. Now, had, the rule, it was a wrong decision regardless. Probably should have just gone for the win.
And at the end of the day, we are all human, and we do make mistakes. I mean,
And I apologize to the team, and we had a meeting. I think we're all okay.
so you can use this as a life lesson now after this game. So how do you motivate your players to keep their focus and momentum heading into Wagner?
Well, really, we've done a great job all year. We've got great kids, and they play hard, and I don't think this weekend is for the district championship. I mean, we're playing for the right to host 2 home games, and of course we got to win the first one and play the second one and move on. And our goal was not to at the beginning of the season was not to beat Wagner. It was to win a district championship and a state championship, and so those are still in front of us, and that's what we're looking at.
And Emmanuel Crawford against Wagner was only held to 114 rushing yards and did not find the end zone in that game. So how does he and the offensive line adjust, and how will they be able to move on through tougher opponents?
Well, Wagner's probably, they were definitely the toughest defense that we had faced all year, and they'll probably be one of the toughest defenses we face. They're one of the best in the state by far. And so they've always been, and they're always tough. And, to have only 114 yards, that's still over 100 yards. That's still over 5 yards a carry, and I thought we did an excellent job. Our offensive line's doing an awesome job. And we've got people that can run it, people that can throw it, people that can catch it, and people that can block for it.
Speaking of people that can throw it and catch it, Carson Hagan, they've been pretty dependable on the throw and this season. So how do you expect him to keep moving on that part? Because they had amazing.
We practice every day, and we have he and Hagan have a great chemistry, and all of our receivers are doing a great job. And we've spread it around a little bit. Hagan has more catches than probably anybody, but on the team. But we spread it around and try to do as much as we can in the passing game and get everybody involved.
That's all the questions I have, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.